Disclaimer, if you are triggered by divination, astrology, tarot, and worldly discussions, this channel is not for you. Please enjoy.
Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, Wisdom and Light here, and I am back with another reading. So this reading is going to be very different from any other reading that I've ever done on my channel. And we are going to be diving deep and talking about Metaverse and the energy behind it. If you guys do not know what Metaverse is, it is basically a new phenomenon that is slowly going to take the world globally by storm. It is basically a virtual reality that people will have access to be a part of. Celebrities like Snoop Dogg have already bought land in Metaverse. So I don't know if you guys remember the video game Sims. You created a virtual world and you can even make an avatar, a sim that looks like you, or you can create a sim that looks like someone that you admire, whatever the case may be. It was always something that we could play on a video game or on a computer, right? But now with Metaverse, we're going to be able to do this in present tense. We're going to be able to be living a virtual reality in real life, where you're going to be wearing something to where even if you live in a one-bedroom apartment in the real world, in Metaverse, you live in a mansion and your neighbor is Beyonce. So a lot of people, a lot of companies, a lot of fashion brands are already buying stock, investing in cryptocurrency, and they're jumping on board with this. So this reading is going to be about what this means for us globally. What does this mean for our mental health, and how do we go forward with this? Because at the end of the day, I'm not trying to scare anyone, but this is coming. This is coming through the pipeline. Even Trinidad, the country of Trinidad, they have already bought land. So now you can go to Metaverse and you can experience Trinidad even though you did not buy a plane ticket and fly over there to have a vacation or visit family in Trinidad. Plenty of countries, plenty of places are already investing in Metaverse. The person that introduced Metaverse to all of us is, of course, Mark Zuckerberg. I always be messing up his name, excuse me. So that being said, I wanted to do a reading and take a different approach on how this is going to go, using tarot and divination to see the past, present, and future on how this is going to unravel and unform. This is not to scare you. This is just to keep you informed, and keep in mind that this is just a reading. You do not have to believe in what I am saying. You do not have to resonate with the messages that come through. So I'm going to be using my tarot deck, and I'm also going to be using an oracle deck as well. If you're new here, welcome to Wisdom and Light, where we do readings and we do celebrity readings and things that are happening in the cosmos. This is something that is happening now. This is something that is going to affect all of us, whether we wanted to or not. So this is why I felt that we needed to talk about this, at least on my channel. Plenty of other creators are going to be talking about this as well, and I'm sure they're going to have more information. Whatever video that I find, I will keep them in the description box of other people who are talking about this in a much deeper scale. So I just wanted to just share that with you guys, okay? Whatever that I find, I will link it in the comments, and I'll link it in the description box, because I'm going to be reading the comments and seeing everybody's point of view about this. I will also leave my opinion towards the end of this video, okay? I just saw the number 333, so that has to mean something. So Spirit, God, angels, and ancestors, collectively, what is coming in for Metaverse? What must be here for our highest good and protection? Okay, I pulled out the Justice card reversed. That is the first card that showed up. Okay. We have financial material changes. And then the number 5 is right there. And the number 5 signifies change. And it feels so good to be back, by the way. My allergies were so bad. So I'm very, very happy that I'm able to sit and pull for all of you guys again. So it feels good to be back. I can finally breathe. So yeah, thank you for everyone that sent me suggestions. I went and bought everything I needed for allergies, and I woke up feeling much better. So thank you. And what sucks is because of Rona, because of the virus, if you always suffered with allergies and sinuses, you're going to automatically think, oh my God, do I have it? When in actuality, it's just the flu or it's just your allergies. So So hang in there for all of my people that are fighting the flu and fighting other things as well. My heart goes out to you. Alrighty. Okay, this is creepy. We have the shadow. This is creepy. This is very creepy. And I want you guys to look at the illustration. Look at the illustration of this card. And look at how in the background, right, there is a circle behind there. Now, this is actually reminding me of a dream that I had about a year or two ago. And I feel that what Spirit's telling me, some of you have already had futuristic dreams and premonition of the things that are to come. If you've had dreams in the past of the future, please leave a comment and explain what did you see in that dream, because I feel that this is going to be a deep, there's a deep message behind here. Okay, I'm just gonna pull one more card, just one more, and then lastly, emotional withdrawal. Okay, guys. Okay, this is what I'm seeing. Now I want to pull, I just want more information. What will this do for us emotionally as a people? What can we expect from this emotionally? Emotionally, we have the Chariot card. We also have the 10 of Wands reversed. And then we also have the World. Okay, we have the World, followed by the 8 of Swords. Okay, so I want to first talk about the positive of what all of this means. Okay, so let's talk about the positive, because I do want to highlight that, because I'm fair, and I feel like it's fair to be fair with this. The positive of Metaverse and what this means for us globally is that there's going to be, what I'm predicting is there's going to be a lot more job opportunities coming through the pipeline. So if you are someone that creates art online, if you are someone like let's say you create webtoons. I don't know if you guys ever heard of that, but webtoons is an amazing app where a lot of creators created online comics where you could read stories that people have created, and they have drawn them out themselves, and they came up with a whole story. And these are basically digital comics. So if you are able to create digital content, painting, anything to do with a computer, people now are going to be hired for stuff like this. So graphic designers are going to be making a lot of money during this time. People that work on computers are going to be benefiting from Metaverse. Okay? People that have online careers could benefit from Metaverse, because the money that will be made in Metaverse will translate in money in real life. Because remember, when we play Sims, when we play video games, everything stays in that virtual world. So you would have to log on to vicariously live through your avatar, live through your sim, right? But with Metaverse, what's going to happen is you're living in the virtual world, and if you have stocks and you're making money, the money will actually come back to you in physical form, and that's through cryptocurrency or even the regular American dollar currency or whatever money that you use. So the positive with this is a lot of jobs are going to be born by this. The positive of this is that a lot of people are going to be having these experiences that they're not going to be able to have in real life, right? And that's that. I guess that's the positive in it. Like, oh wow, this is so cool. Wow, this is the future. So that's the positive, and that is the positive that I am seeing. But there's a negative here that I do need to bring to your attention. Now, again, whether we like it or not, this is something that's coming. Okay, and my concern in this reading is that the problem here is there's a thin line between what's real and what isn't. And what we're going to be seeing is a lot of people having a lot of mental instability because of that. The reason why I say that is because we have the shadow card that is in the center of this reading. The shadow card speaks about our shadow self. So keep in mind that a lot of people are not able to live the life that they want to live. So if they go to Metaverse, they're able to do that. They're able to be that person. Now, the tricky thing with Metaverse is you still have to have money to get all of those things to have that in Metaverse. Okay? You still need to have that. But people, you don't have to be rich to invest into something to get what you want. Regular people middle class people are going to invest in wanting this reality for themselves. And maybe the currency is a little bit different. And with all of these companies pushing this on you, you can get a lot of cryptocurrency and Bitcoin and all of that right now and live a big lavish lifestyle in a world that doesn't really exist, but then it kind of does. You guys are following me? It's very trippy. So what's going to happen to the mind psychologically is it's going to do something to the average person that depends on having their identity in this virtual world, rather than having an identity where you can physically touch someone or something, go here, go there. So this is actually going to psychologically harm a few people from what I'm seeing in this reading. Okay? Because you have people that do not know how to separate reality to what isn't actually real. But the problem with Metaverse that I'm seeing in this reading is that it's going to become a little too close to reality for people to not know the difference. So this is where it's going to get dangerous, because we have yourself and we have your shadow side. Okay? And there's even going to be a thing where if dangers and bad people, if crime or whatever is happening in the real world, that's going to manifest here too. That's going to manifest. When you play Sims. When you play Sims and you are just, you took your Sim to bed. Like, guys, give this video a thumbs up if you have been a Sim player. I used to be a heavy Sim player back in the day. So again, give this video a thumbs up if you know where I'm about to go with this. You could be putting your Sim to bed and here comes this burglar. Here comes this person about to break in your house. The alarm system goes off. Your Sim wakes up. Your Sim and the thief are fighting. The police comes in. So if that can happen on a video game, and then we look at all of the other video games that exist, right? What makes you think that violence and all of those stuff is not going to happen in the metaverse, where law and all of that stuff has to come and play? And I say that because that may not even be the case, right? I could be wrong. Maybe it's going to be a perfect utopia world. But the fact that the shadow card is here, it's going to be great at first. What Spirit's telling me is going to look very cartoonish and happy and fun. It's going to be fun at first. Just like how we were with Pokemon Go, when everybody was running up and down the streets chasing Pokemons and shit on their phone. It's going to be happy. It's going to feel like it's a happy thing. And don't think that you're still not going to be able to live real life, because you will. You will still be able to go to the grocery store and go out and have real life experiences. Okay? But there's going to be that option to experience a virtual world. And with that, it starts off good and then the fuckery begins. Okay? And that is what the shadow card is talking about. And then when you dip into people's mental stability, that's also a thing too. You already have people that have an issue with being on social media because all they see is perfection, and that fucks with them because they think that their life is not perfect and they're not good enough. Meanwhile, the person that's pushing perfection, they're not perfect either. And they're selling that to you because it looks good. Are you guys following me? This is the issue here. So in Metaverse, I'm in shape and I'm fit. But in real life, I'm 300 pounds because I haven't left my house and I've been eating and just being in this reality. I haven't hit the gym. But if I go to the Metaverse hospital, I'm good. Are you guys following me? This is where it becomes dangerous. Now, again, you're going to have people, the shadow side, you're going to have people that know how to balance the two. They exist. Just like there's a time for me to play Sims and play my video games, but then there's a time for me to work. There's a time for me to spend time with my family. There's a time for me to go to the beach. There's a time for me to go grounding and put my feet on the earth and feel the earth, feel what God created. I balance that out. And I can even say I have played Sims where I am on there for hours. So I'm not going to sit here and say that, none of us won't experience it or try it and get caught up, because all of us have gotten caught up in something where it took away from reality. All of us have. And this is where it's dangerous. When I think about my childhood growing up and how I used to go outside to go play and be with my friends, I look at my nieces and my nephews and they're inside FaceTiming their friends and they're on TikTok and they really only go outside to make TikToks and then they run back inside. I don't really see a lot of kids playing outside because, times have changed and things are different. And what you're seeing now is some schools are even pushing for kids to go outside and socialize because it is good for your mental health. So I'm very, I would say in this reading, I am a little bit curious on how they're going to balance out mental health with this phenomenon that is coming. Whether we like it or not, this has been in the works for a long time, especially with the fact that financial and material changes are here, meaning that the change was already planted, meaning they were working on this for a very long time. This just didn't happen overnight. This didn't happen overnight. Financial and material changes, the shadow side, emotional withdrawal. So you're going to see that there's going to be people that deal with it good, and then there's going to be people that don't deal with it very good. So this is the energy that is being present. Now you have the Chariot and the 10 of Wands reverse. So again, this could actually create topics and debates that could push us back as a society. But then the darkness is going to infiltrate Metaverse. And then it's going to become this thing where mental instability is going to become a problem. So if you are a counselor, a therapist, a psychiatrist, even an intuitive, a light worker, if you work with people, if you are even a pastor, if you do ministry work, you're going to be running into a lot of people that are going to need a lot of help and people to talk to, because they're not going to be able to separate reality from Metaverse. This is not to scare people, but I'm just talking about the mental part of it, because I'm sure it's going to be very cool. I'm sure it's going to look very realistic, and there's going to come a point where how it's going to look is going to evolve to where it looks so real. This could be a problem for people that already have a problem with being okay with who they are now. So if you are going to be a part of it, because I'm not telling anybody not to, and if all of us end up having to be a part of it because our job requires it, like they're trying to mandate the medicine or whatever, that they're trying to mandate us taking what we have to take so we could travel and whatever. If, let's say, they mandate it, and I'm going to pull if they do, you have to mentally prepare yourself to separate the two. That's really all you can do here. You have to mentally separate the two. Now, the World card is here, meaning this is going to globally affect us. But the Eight of Swords is here. A lot of people will feel trapped in this because they were not mentally preparing themselves for that. So what I'm going to say is, rather than fearing what we don't understand, we have to research it and understand what this means for us psychologically. We have to do our research. We have to know when it's time to turn it off and when it's time to turn it on. Even when you think about how we're going to be experiencing concerts, how we're going to be experiencing events, because of what happened at Astro World, which I did a reading on that and I pulled on the energy behind it. Maybe, hear me out, maybe that will be an option, because people, artists don't want to deal with getting sued. Artists don't want to deal with people doing all of this and people actually dying, right? But again, in Metaverse, what if, it's not funny, but I gotta bring it up. What if in Metaverse, you're at a concert and then boom, another avatar done shank your ass, okay? Poke, poke, poke. Now your avatar dead. And here comes the Metaverse police. They're getting ready to throw you in Metaverse prison because you did X, Y, and Z. Guys, I know it sounds so crazy and so bizarre to even say this, but if people are actually putting real money in Metaverse, what makes you think you're not going to go through some type of Metaverse punishment or whatever the case may be? It's going to be happy up until people are going to come in with their demonic energy and start doing what they're going to do. It starts off as something positive and then it trails into something negative. Even social media, how people were scared of social media back in the day. Now here we are making money off of it, connecting. You know me because of social media. I know you because of social media. I'm learning, you're learning. We're all growing together as a society. So it's going to be very interesting how this plays out. There's positives here, but then there's the negative here as well. And the negative has everything to do with our psyche, with how we think, with how we move. Okay? And it just runs really, really deep. And I feel that as we go forward, we have to be mindful of that. When I was in high school, I remembered when they did the hologram of Tupac. When they did a hologram of Tupac to do a concert. And I always thought to myself, will people actually ever die? Will artists and influential people, will they actually ever die? Will we pay metaverse dollars to see Tupac perform? But Tupac has been dead for a long time. Will we pay Bitcoin money to see late artists and late people perform? Will people actually ever ascend? Will they ever actually pass on? I think, I'm getting into a rabbit hole again. There I go. Spirit. What can we expect from Metaverse? This card flipped up. We have material harvest in reverse. So tangible things could start losing its value over time because people will buy it digitally. That's why material harvest, anything that you touch, like these headphones that I'm holding, this angel ornament that I'm about to put on the Christmas trees, and she's so cute. I don't know, this intention oil that I am working on, right? Those are things that are tangible. Those are things that I can touch. So there's going to be value in things that are not tangible, just like there's value in video game things, like buying add-ons for your character, buying a home for your character. It's going to be the same thing like a video game would be. What can we expect from Metaverse? Okay. Again, Spirit is telling me that even though this could psychologically be an issue, right? As long as you are resting and you are finding quiet time in between this, and you are taking care of your mental and your physical body, and you balance it out, then I can't really fault nobody or stress nobody for choosing to do what they want to do with their money. Spirit, your ancestors, your angels, they just want you to have that balance. That balance is important for you. Because I got news for you. The people that are creating this, the people behind this, they don't really give a fuck about all of that other stuff. That's your job to give a fuck about that. They're here to make their money, and they're here to take us to the next phase, to the next era. That's their job. That's what they're going to do, and that's been happening. That's been the plan. And Spirit's telling me that's been the plan for at least 10 years now. It's just finally now happening. So don't think Mark Zuckerberg woke up and said, I'm going to change Facebook and name it Metaverse. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah. And I'm just going to throw it at everybody. This has been in the works. And you know what? That makes me think about all of the billionaires. Because I remembered reading about, I remember reading about the owner of Amazon stepping down, and he was taking his ass up onto space. Why are you in space for? And then there was like a domino effect of other people stepping down. The owner of Twitter is stepping down. A lot of millionaires, billionaires are stepping down from platforms that they created. And then you got billionaires talking about how they're going to go to space and just do all of this extra. And then I got me thinking, because the moment I saw that, I said, something's going on, and I'm going to wait and see. And then boom, I saw Metaverse becoming a thing. Spirit is saying to balance this out, rest and rejuvenation is going to be vital and important. People that work in mental health, you guys are going to be making a lot of money, because yeah, you are going to be making a lot of money. You got people, you got scientists having robots reproducing. I don't know. We are in the age of Aquarius, okay? We are in the age of Aquarius, and this is very Aquarian energy. We are being ushered into the new world, and the seeds have been planted for a very long time. We're just now seeing the roots, and actually, no, we're not seeing the roots. We're seeing everything sprout up, because the roots have already been doing its thing in the soil for a very long time. And because of what we've been through in 2020, because a lot of us had to stay home, because a lot of us can't travel, we can't do certain things, this could feel like a way out to experience the world without having to leave the comfort of your home. Will we be okay as a humanity? Will we adapt? That's a question I want to ask. Will we adapt? The truth, the third eye, conflict and defeat, okay? The waiting game, patience and planning. We will adapt, especially with the patience and planning card, but it's going to take time for it to adapt because remember, we're going to see a lot of articles. We're going to see a lot of discussion about how this is affecting people. And you know, we think that it's going to be the kids that is going to, we think that it's going to be children that is going to affect. Spirit is actually telling me this is going to affect adults more than it's going to affect the youth. Because the youth, believe it or not, they actually have a lot of, okay, the youth, what Spirit's telling me, the youth have already been introduced to this world, so they know how to kind of sort of balance out the two. It's saying that the children of the generation that's coming is good. This is going to be a way of life for them. You understand? This is where I'm going. I'm not saying that children won't get affected, but majority that will be affected mentally are adults, people your age, people my age. Children that are being born right now will feel that this is what it's always been, okay? But if you grew up in the 90s and you're here now, this is going to psychologically do something to you. Whereas your nephew who's 5, they grew up in this shit. So it's not going to affect them that much the way it's going to affect you because you've literally seen VHS tapes and DVDs to now streaming and boom, we're in a different reality. These children grew up in this. They came up in this. So they're not going to go through as many psychological things like that. If anything, they're going to have to get exposed to how things used to be, and it's going to be a cultural shock to them. It's adults that have seen the world change so many times, they're going to get affected by this. So this is why your mental stability is going to be very important for you. Now, what will this mean? Will this be mandated? I want to ask that. Let me get my tarot cards. Will this be mandated? Will this be mandated? Will this be mandated at jobs? I heard the word optional. The Magician and the Hermit, the Hangman. This will be optional. This will be optional. But it's going to feel like if you do it, you make more money. If you do it, you can do this and that. If you do this, you can have all of this. So the Magician card and the Hermit, it will be optional, but you will have people that will jump on board with this. And then you have the Hangman and the High Priestess. Deep knowing, intuition. A lot of people may not jump on board with this. The Hangman actually talks about a lot of people being hesitant, in my opinion, and waiting to see how it goes for everyone else. The High Priestess is deep intuition and knowing. So a lot of people will jump on board, and then you have some people that will just be like, you know, I did it for my job, but I'm not really that, I really don't care for it. I really don't, blase. So again, there's going to be a balance here, but my concern is for the people that won't find that balance within it. That's my concern. Movie theaters, I just heard the era of movie theaters is coming to an end, so my children will not know that experience. That's so weird to me. Let's go to the movies, let's go get some popcorn, and we all sit there and we see this blockbuster thing, and no, my children won't experience that. We got to remember the pandemic ended a lot of things and ushered in a lot of the new, okay? Okay. Another thing that's coming up, this little girl in this card looks like an avatar to me. And then the 8 of Wands. Another thing that's coming up, influencers could get affected by this because a lot of avatars are going to be advertising things. Influencers that are always in drama and fighting, companies may jump to deal with virtual avatars to advertise things before they go to a regular person. So now the regular person is going to want to create an avatar or whomever they are in the metaverse to not lose their influencing. So the influencers are going to be experiencing this. And not the influencers that do commentary or videos of education of that sort. There will still be, of course, educated videos picking up on. I'm not understanding what that means, but they're saying people will not be affected in a bad way with this, except for the people that do a lot of advertising and they cooperate and they do business with companies. So people that are influencers or that make their money through commercials and advertising things, they have to be very mindful to not get into any drama, because now companies are going to have the option to have a robot or whatever do your job. And I do believe that is even a thing in Asia. That's a thing in Japan, I believe, where a lot of digital avatars are advertising certain things, and it's just, investors are not losing their money. This will actually cause creators on YouTube that are always in mess to be more cautious of that so they don't lose their revenue. Now, let me actually start to reshuffle, because I feel like I want to find the silver lining here. I want to find some positivity here. So will we still be able to live a physical, normal life? Will we still be able to live a normal physical life? The truth. Okay. The truth. Partnerships and alliances. Yes, I heard a yes. Memories of love. Okay. Memories of love. Okay. Accelerated motion. Hope. And then the throat chakra. Yes. Yes. Because the good news is this would just be a choice for you. Okay. But eventually it's going to feel like there's certain things you have to do in Metaverse for work or for your job. And a lot of those people will have that balance, but then you have some that won't. Okay. Discontent and boredom. That comes through, and light. So yes, this will be a choice. Reading is not to scare you, it's to keep you informed. You will have a choice. And the biggest thing that's going to be a theme in 2022, like I said in my world prediction video, 2022 is going to be the year of balance. And you're going to see an imbalance. And with 2022, you're going to see the world so desperately trying to get aligned and have that balance again. Now, I remembered I had a dream a long time ago, about maybe about a year or two ago. I had a dream that I was planting in my garden and I was in front of a house. I saw a boy run up to me, and I'm assuming this was my child. And he looked at me and said, "Mom, can I play outside? Please, 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 can I play outside?" And I looked at him, and I looked at my phone to see what time it was. And then I said, "Make sure you come back in 2 hours." And he's like, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." And then he gave me a big hug, and I saw him and these boys on bikes running down the street playing. And when I looked up, I saw like a car or something flying in the air, and I saw it's like the sky looked like a big computer, if that makes any sense. Like I was in a big globe or something, like in a big greenhouse. I can't even explain it, but I looked up and I just kind of rolled my eyes like, I'm sick of this shit. And then I went back to just planting and doing what I was doing. I feel like that dream that I had was what I saw and what Metaverse is going to become, where reality and that world could merge. I feel like that's what my dream was about, because I remember having that dream and I wrote it down. And I didn't understand why I had that dream. No, I didn't have the dream 2 years ago. I had it in 2020, and I wrote it down and I asked Spirit, what does that mean? Is that the future? Where everything looked the same, but then I could tell that everything looked so high tech. And my mind just couldn't understand it because I'm not in that time right now. That's the thing about visions and premonitions and dreams. You see things into the future, but you're not in that time to understand it until you're in that time. But when you live in the present moment, you see the little things that are starting to get planted for you to see, that's what I saw. That's what it means. Rejoice in celebration. We will be okay. Humanity will be okay. The message here is to find balance between the two. To find balance. Balance is important. Remember that your reality is what's tangible, and you have to take care of that, and you have to be grounded. The danger of this is we can stay floating up in the air. But as long as we create that balance, like I keep saying, to know that this is reality and this is just a video world, we as a people will be okay. You will be okay if you find that balance. I would love to hear your input. How do you guys feel about Metaverse? Does it scare you? Are you excited about it? Have you already bought land in Metaverse? When you pulled cards on it, did it look scary to you? Did it make you excited or did it make you weary? When I pulled cards on it, I saw what it would do mentally to people. I saw the good and I also saw what it would do. And Spirit was telling me balance, 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 balance. I would love to hear your input, and maybe we'll do a part 2 on what all of this means, and I will answer questions and pull some more cards and go from there. And maybe eventually I will like get on Shopify or like a podcast and stuff, or people can call in and we just have like deep discussions. I have to figure out how to do that. If you guys know how to do it, let me know. I don't even know where to start with that. I'm not that tech savvy. But yes, I would love to hear your input because I love talking with all of you. And I hope you all enjoyed this reading, and I hope this gave you a little bit more of an insight on what's to come. Just like we give our children screen time, you should give yourself, no touch screen, no nothing time. We have to have that balance. Anyways, I love you guys, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye. So my predictions for things that are coming in for Metaverse. Prepare to see stadiums and facilities being solely dedicated to Metaverse. Prepare to see people out in broad daylight, sitting down, wearing something, and they are having these experiences. I do feel that there is going to be centers for this. You're going to see webinars, conventions, like how Comic-Con is. You're going to see conventions about it. It's going to become a big thing, okay? The video game world is very profitable, so Metaverse will have its own arena as well, okay? Some more predictions, like I said, mental health is going to be a theme, and you're going to be seeing a lot of people experiencing imbalance. It's going to look very cartoonish at first, and then it's going to start looking really realistic as time goes on. It's going to be very positive up until there's going to be some negativity that you will see on there. Anything else that I am picking up on for Metaverse? And you're just going to see that everything's going to be pushed towards this, and this is going to be optional for people that are into it or not. In regards to this being mandated at your job, it will be optional, but it's almost going to feel like, well, if I do this, I'll make more money, depending on certain companies that want to push it or have stocks in it or whatever the case may be, okay? New York City, I'm picking up on New York City. New York City is also going to be like a center for Metaverse. I don't know why I felt New York City so strongly, but New York City is going to probably be like the hot spot. I see New York City being a hot spot. I see Japan, of course Japan. I see Japan being a hot spot, but something about New York City. I do sense that for Metaverse. It's concerning when it comes to people that choose not to be in reality most of the time, but you will have people that will know how to balance it out, and then you will have people that don't. Yeah, I had to add that in because I forgot to mention that prediction. I saw stadiums being dedicated to Metaverse. I saw my vision. I saw people waiting in line to get good seats so they can be comfortable and just be in this virtual world, and everybody's just sitting there in this globe. I keep seeing this globe type of thing. It'll protect them from rain, weather, all of that. So you're going to start seeing Metaverse stations being created, and they're going to be the size of football stadiums. Some will be smaller than that. They will look like convention centers. There will be Metaverse convention centers where you could sit there and have these experiences. There will be discussions on how to make money on it. It will become a thing. You'll either be into it or not. It's all up to you. You will see celebrities push it, and then you will see some celebrities that are not really into it, but you will see a lot of celebrities push this. And eventually, a lot of people will want to get involved in it, but then the problem here is, again, reality and what's real. Balance. Yeah, those are my predictions for Metaverse. All right, guys. I love you guys. Gotta go again. Bye.